Billions of people participate in a daily ritual, consuming chemicals to alter our experience. We drink coffee for energy, reach for nicotine to focus, or use alcohol to relax, treating these substances as essential tools for navigating the day. We often treat these substances as if they are adding something new to our bodies. In reality, your brain already possesses the entire inventory of chemicals required for joy, focus, and calm. These psychoactive drugs act as biological hackers. They cross into the brain and manipulate these internal systems, forcing your neurons to release their natural stores of neurotransmitters on command. This manipulation creates a shift in your internal chemistry. By forcing a spike in energy or mood today, you are altering the biological resources available for tomorrow. To understand the mechanics of addiction, we have to look past the feeling of the high and examine how these chemicals interact with the brain's internal ledger. Every forced peak comes with a corresponding cost. The search for focus usually begins with caffeine. It's a ritual used to make the morning feel manageable, providing a sense of alertness that many of us rely on to start the day. Caffeine works through obstruction, occupying receptors normally used by adenosine, hiding your exhaustion. But stimulants like cocaine use a more aggressive mechanism. They trigger your brain to dump its entire reserve of dopamine, the molecule for reward, all at once. This flood creates an immediate sense of invincibility. Your heart rate climbs, your thoughts sharpen, and every goal feels achievable. In this state, you feel faster and more capable than your sober self. This surge of energy is effectively a withdrawal from your future reserves. You are burning through your brain's dopamine supply at an unsustainable rate, leaving the tank empty for the days ahead. While stimulants chase control, depressants like alcohol and opioids manufacture a sense of safety. They are the chemical brakes we use to slow down a stressful world. These substances work by enhancing GABA, the brain's primary inhibitory neurotransmitter, or by binding to pain receptors. This slows down the firing of neurons throughout the central nervous system. The peak experience is defined by a sense of warmth. Anxiety softens, muscles relax, and the internal chatter of stress quietens. It provides a feeling of profound relief and temporary calm. However, the chemical is only silencing the brain's alarm system. Even as the mind feels relaxed, the physical body continues to process the underlying environmental stress and the damage caused by the substance itself. This manufactured silence is temporary. Because the drug only masks the distress without addressing the source, it creates a cycle where the user requires the chemical just to keep the alarm from sounding. Humans also use chemicals to seek deeper meaning and social bonding. This leads to the use of empathogens like MDMA and psychedelics like LSD or psilocybin. MDMA triggers a massive release of serotonin and oxytocin. These are the chemicals your brain uses to facilitate bonding and empathy, but the drug forces them out in quantities that your body rarely produces naturally. This visual represents the effect of psychedelics. Substances like LSD bind to 5-HT2A receptors, altering how the brain organizes sensory information. This shifts your perception of time and blurs the boundary between the self and the outside world. At the peak, people describe profound emotional insights and a feeling of connection to the universe. For a few hours, the ego dissolves, and everything feels linked and significant. While the experience feels significant, the intense empathy is the result of a temporary chemical flood. When the serotonin levels eventually drop, that sense of universal connection often disappears, leaving behind a deep emotional void. Every drug interaction is governed by homeostasis, the brain's internal regulator. Its primary job is to maintain a stable environment by counteracting any extreme shifts in chemistry. This graph shows the cost of a high. When a drug forces a chemical spike, the brain tries to compensate. It stops its own production and removes receptors to protect itself. When the drug leaves the system, the levels drop far below the healthy baseline. This is the biological debt being repaid. It manifests as the crushing sadness following MDMA, the paranoia after methamphetamine, or the agony of opioid withdrawal. Nicotine provides a clear example of how this debt creates a trap. After the brain adapts, the drug no longer provides an elevated state. It offers a brief escape from the irritability caused by the previous dose. Eventually, repeated use rewires the brain's survival pathways. The system begins to treat the chemical as a necessity for life, requiring the user to consume the drug just to reach a functional baseline. Our nervous systems are capable of providing focus, joy, and connection through their own natural pathways. Drugs offer a temporary shortcut to those feelings, but they often leave those internal systems damaged long after the high has faded.